I do that. I do got a little power back here. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Back here bounce. What's up? What's up?
You got it.
I got it, girl. I got it. What's up? What's up, y'all? It's Friday. It's my Fridays. Welcome to the BBW Show. Once again, we made another week. I give all praises to the man above for being able to sit back here again. That's right. Give him some praise. You hear me? Come on now. Welcome to the BBW Show. Back in the video, y'all. Y'all know it's my favorite day of the week because it's about me. No, it's not about. It's never. My show is never about me. It's about anybody that I can bring on this show that I'm blessed to have a part of my time. And tonight, y'all, we got a treat. If y'all seen my post this week, you would know that this man, he's very well known. I know this for sure. But furthermore, he's not a stranger to our home here at Static. But I never personally had the honor of meeting him. I've heard so much about him. I have a lot of great people that I've known, met, or actually friends with that's actually been a part of his platform, his brand, modeling, just really familiar with this man. And it was in my spirit one day. I'm telling you, this is how I love when I get a guest or get a chance to meet somebody that I feel is worth meeting, if that makes sense. But I woke up one day. It's weird. I woke up one day, and out of the blue, of course, I picked my phone up, and literally the first thing that popped up, what was it? Something of yours, but it wasn't your face. It was oh God, is that a panther or a lion?
Panther.
It's a panther. So I'm like, oh, and of course I'm like, I know he's been on the station, and shout out to Solomon. Mm-hmm. I know him and Solomon has a great relationship, and Solomon works with him and worked for him and modeled for him, which is dope. But I'm like, I want the BBW Show to get our hands on him. Let's see if he'll graciously accept my invite, which he did. I went right into his DM. Sometimes I'm a DM creep, y'all. I can't talk about everybody in my DM, because sometimes I'm creepy too. I slide through y'all DMs for good purposes, though. So I slid through this gentleman's DM. He said yes. We planned a date, and we made the date. So here we are. Welcome to the BBW Show. Y'all, I have the honor of having Mr. David Ford himself to my right at the building.
Yo.
Hey. So what I love about this, of course, I did my home. But what's crazy is that I knew about you way before I even knew about you. Like, seriously. And I always like to people to tell their own story. I always call it their commercial, their time, because everyone might not know everyone. So I love when anybody, like any of my listeners, people that's watching, can get a chance to really, really get to know you. You know what I mean? And this gives me opportunity too.
Right.
So I always like to call it your commercial. But before we even do that, it's funny because I heard about you. Oh my God, how many years ago? It was a while ago. And then I heard about you again because a gentleman, which I know you're very familiar with, Mr. David Cully, shout out to Mr. Cully. That's my homeboy. He was here about a month or so ago, maybe a month and a half ago.
Shout out to Cully.
That's my guy. And we were somewhere, we were actually just taking upon this same business venture. Not together, not as a team or anything, but we kind of really met there at that actual business event. And very sharp. Now, everybody knows Mr. Gully, David. I don't know why I'm calling Mr. Gully. I'm just being extra right now. David. If y'all ever seen David, he's very sharp, always cold, always got nice glasses on. He just pieced up. I love his swag. He's smooth, right? So I'm like, I compliment. I love him. Men that dress nice and look nice, smell nice. I have to give them praises. I love a good, well-dressed drip man. I do. You ain't gotta be always suit and tie, but just you can tell when a man know how to put it together. But I seen his whole look, and I'm like, oh, listen, you look great. You know what I'm saying? I love your outfit and your glasses and blah, blah, blah. He's like, I'm a model. I'm like, huh? He's like, I'm a model. I'm like, oh, that's what's up. Immediately, he mentioned you, and that always stuck out with me about Dave and your name. Those two, that was my first like magnetic connect. And then once we really like exchanged like social media platforms and numbers and everything, I seen how he showed me, like, you know, what he, the work he did for you and that he does with you. And I was like, oh, this is dope. And I really never, I heard the name, but I didn't know this was, and I'm going to be blunt, a black man behind that brand. I never did know that. And that's so impressive. So I can't wait to get into how you really got to this platform, the status that you're at. And I definitely can't wait to hear where you're going with it and whatever else you got going on.
Well, all right.
Shit.
I like it.
Okay. So thank you for first of all, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate you having me.
I never take it for granted. I'm so grateful. Anytime somebody takes a piece out of their day, especially as a busy man like yourself. And he brought a friend. I love when people my guests bring guests or friends. This is like home. This is the kicking. We're not no stuff that people like, oh, you know, we're an appointment of, you know, A, B, and C. And I'm very, very organic, y'all. I don't write nothing down. I like to have organic conversations. That's really a big niche for me. I mean, that's a big thing for me. So he actually brought King Aaron in here. You see how I changed the name up? You like this? You like it? I'm gonna let you join it.
I'm not calling you King Aaron.
He brought his mentee in, y'all, which is dope. That says a lot about this gentleman. This is a Friday evening. He has someone that he's influencing and teaching, and I can't wait to hear about this story and how that works for you. So thank you for coming. Shoot. Thank you for taking your time out to sit at this table with me.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Any time. You want to come kick it with me? Help host the show. Just roll in. I'll be here. Seriously, that's how I love it. I love anybody who can get in and just kick it with me. But Mr. Ford.
Uh-oh. My turn.
Your turn. No, because we on some baby walk. I'm nosy. I'm a nosy host. It's a good nosy though.
I'm okay.
It's not. Then I always tell people, if I ask you anything that you're not comfortable with, just whisper it in my ear and I'll answer it for you when you know. But so tell me first. I always like to go to people's background. Where did your feet plant from? Where did you originate from?
Originated from Cleveland.
Seriously, okay.
Yep.
So you Cleveland bred?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. What area of Cleveland?
So from Shaker Heights.
Okay.
I started out actually on St. Clair.
Okay, that's what. See, I want to go to the. I want to go to the meat. I want to go to the roots and where the
that Section 8 came.
Hey,
you know,
that's
moved on up. You understand?
Okay, so St. Clair is really the beginning of
East 97th Street.
Woo.
Come on, y'all.
That's the hood.
That's the hood.
Yeah, that's dope. I know a lot of people that way though.
Me too.
I know you too. So we started on East 97th down in St. Clair. What was it like there? How long were you on St. Clair?
Oh, we were there during the 70s, early part of the 70s, until I was like 7 years old. It was nice.
Yeah.
That's when St. Clair was nice. McDonald's, you walked up the street to McDonald's, Giant Tiger.
Oh, shit.
You know? Oh, yeah. I'm taking you back. Yeah. You know, that's when everybody knew everybody. You know, you get your butt whooped by your neighbor.
Right.
You know, your neighbor's mama. Let me correct that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was just that kind of kinship in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know? It was good.
Yeah, it was good stuff. So, did you have siblings?
Yep, I have a sister, God rest her soul. She passed
I'm sorry.
about 6 years ago. And, you know, she was definitely a big influence on my life. And, you know, I was glad to have her for the time I had her.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, that's what's up. So it's you and your sister growing up. Okay. So, tell me about Little Ford. I'm going to call you Little Ford. Like, Mama, while we dig it back.
I was a wild child.
Was you?
I was a wild child. I was bad. I was a wild child.
What was bad?
I got into everything. I like to take things apart.
I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Everything I took apart.
That makes sense. You so you said that you were in the St. Clair area to about 7? About 7 years old. And then that's when you guys moved to Shaker?
Yep. Okay. I went to Charles H. Lake.
I was just getting ready to ask.
Come on.
I was just about to ask. So that was your elementary school. When you went to Shaker, what was Shaker life like? Was it a culture shock?
It was a culture shock.
I was like, because it was still predominantly white.
Yep. Predominantly white. There's a speckle of us that were black.
Right.
That came from the Section 8, you know, movement. You know, we got to move into the Shaker area, and it was a culture shock. I've never seen so many white kids in my life, but it changed my life in a good way.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, it taught me how to, be well-rounded, even to this day.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It's important.
Absolutely.
important change.
So, when you got in Shaker School, was you still bad in Shaker School?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ain't gonna.
I was still bad, fighting. But when you get to a certain point in your life where that's kind of what you're adapted to in the neighborhoods, you get over and it kind of merges over to the next, and there's a lot of little white kids got their butt kicked. It's okay.
Oh Lord.
But I didn't mean to, but it was part of life.
It was part of. I mean, I get that too. So was it that you felt like you had that? I mean, I want to dig into that because I like to, like you said, a lot of times we have these experiences, and I even can go back to the way I feel like I was raised and what my mom exposed to me, that it really really molded me to be this. To me, I feel I'm a pretty well-rounded female human. You know what I mean? So, and I know a lot of times when we go, especially when we're younger, we're knuckleheads, and we fight, we're bad and whatnot. But the fact that you actually were put into a culture shock situation that ultimately influenced your life in a different way. So, what was one key thing that you can probably think of? We'll get out of the elementary age. Let's say junior high. How was junior high for you?
I'm gonna tell you, even on let's start with the lower grades.
Okay, come on.
The curriculum was different.
Yeah.
So I had to they almost wanted to put me back because Cleveland was so far behind from
when you moved
Shaker schools.
So we moved Shaker. Where were you at? Second or third grade?
Yeah. So whatever, 7 years old.
That's usually about second grade.
Yeah. They wanted to put me back. We were much slower than what was given in the Shaker curriculum. It was different.
Yeah.
It took me a long time. I had reading problems, as a kid because I didn't know.
Right.
So
you were used to
they were already reading books, and I'm like, what are crayons? That's how it goes.
That's honest to God life, though. That's how it is. And unfortunately, it's still a lot like that today. But so the curriculum was the first thing that you had a challenge with. Now, did they immediately say they wanted to push you back, or it was like kind of like
they tried in the beginning, and my mother went up there. And it wasn't happening.
Honey, they're like with my mama's.
It wasn't happening.
That's all about.
No, and she made me do extra, and I had to go to extra after school activities, and to try to get those grades up.
Yeah.
And it caused a little culture shock for me.
Yeah.
And especially in school, the academics. Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Did you feel like you were going to act out because of that? Do you think that's one of the... I
did act out.
And that was one of the things that pushed you in that direction?
Oh, yeah. But I was artistic already.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to...
I was very artistic at that time. So I didn't know what or why, but I was good with drawing, So, that's one of the things, the tools that they use to help me actually with math, with science, with English. Oh, I shout out my teachers because they did a good job getting me together.
That's beautiful.
But they did it more with art.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So
did someone really recognize your art ability and help you connect that?
Junior high, for sure.
Junior high.
Junior high.
So what happened in junior high that gave you that, like, oh, this is my niche, or I got this, or?
I still remember my teacher.
It was a specific teacher.
Black teacher, Mr. Brown. And he saw my talents. And he kept, every year he was like, make sure you get in art, make sure you get in art, make sure you get in art. And, it just kept getting better and better. And then my art turned into more or less like drafting, those graphics, high-end graphics. And that's kind of helped me today.
Wow. So I'm surprised they didn't push you to try to go to school of arts.
What? No.
You didn't want to go?
No, well, you couldn't. Because in Shaker, you can't bust all the way down there.
Oh, that's right. So many people lie about it. I just was school of arts. I didn't think of that. So you were in a school that you had a very Mr. Brown. Shout out to everybody. I love shout outs. I don't know if he's still.
I don't even know if he's here anymore, but yeah, if he is,
big shout out.
He was a big piece of my life.
That's what's up.
For sure.
That's what's up. So junior high, you feel like you were in a groove, and you feel like you slowed down there, or you were still?
I was in a good groove. I got into sports, and got into more the educational piece. Got the grades together. Started making a little honor roll.
Okay.
I'm started getting it together,
Awesome.
and that's where the engineering piece really started to strike me because now they were letting me go to school during the summertime at Tri-C.
Ah, so this is why you were still in junior high phase. Okay. So now, because it's like now, I don't want to miss no gaps. Like I said, I like to know how people, you know, who they are, to why they are. So you're saying that you were your art skills were picked up, they were being nurtured, and you were going away. And it really was escalating. It was going to a place where you knew that this was something that you enjoyed, that you were actually great at, and someone recognized the talent in you. So the engineering, how did that happen? How did like an extra schooling come, or advanced schooling?
Isn't it crazy? I still remember my teacher, Mr. Nye.
Mr. Nye?
Mr. Nye.
Okay.
Yes, and this white guy, he was just something special to me. I mean, he kept on me, and I started with architectural engineering, then I went to engineering, then I went to mechanical engineering, and I took his class every single year until I got out of there.
So, but at that time with Shaker, was it junior high to high school?
So Woodbury was our junior high, but then they condensed us from 9th to 12th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they switched it. We all had to go to high school.
Okay. So when I was in high school, I mean, that's how I wanted to read. But at that time, I'll be 45 in like a couple weeks. Plug. Also, I'm such a birthday person. But that's when the time I was in high school, it was definitely 9 and 12. It was like 7 and 8 was junior high. And so, but was it now your high school teacher, or was he your junior high teacher?
No, he was my high school teacher.
He was a high school teacher.
So I had him from 9th
grade on. So you really, really had him.
Well, yeah. And I mean, he convinced me to stick with it, and it actually excelled to the point, my high school career went really well because that's what I wanted to do. But then I went on to college. Now, do you really want to talk about college?
Oh, we're about to get there, but I have a question about high school.
Go ahead.
I love to hear college
stories.
You're gonna love my I love college stories. So what sport you?
Football.
Football. What was your position?
Running back.
Running back.
Yep.
Oh, you was.
Yep.
Oh,
Speedy.
Speedy. That's what's up. Did you play all through your high school career? Or
I did.
Okay.
Yep, I did.
So you didn't want to carry that on, or that's just something?
I tried. That's part of my college story.
Shoot, here we go. I'll spin off to the college story. I gotta ask you a question, a personal question. Where did you get all this pretty hair from? What happened?
Oh, well, we are American Indian.
Okay, because I'm jealous, you know what I'm saying? I got to, most women, we got to buy what's on top of his head. It ain't fair.
I think we're American Indian, yeah.
Okay. So, is it more of your mom's inheritance?
My mom's dad was an Indian, and he was from Nevada.
Okay.
And my grandmother was from Georgia.
Ooh, and obviously.
And he was a horse breaker.
Ah.
Yep.
So did they how did they get to Cleveland? Did they come to Cleveland?
I remember, so during that time, so they obviously looked for work, and they wound up going south. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. So he went south. He found grandma, honey. They made some Georgia.
Yes, they did.
Honey. They made some.
A whole bunch of them too.
Did they? How many?
It was 7 of them.
Ooh. Yeah, they have their own tribe, honey.
Yep.
No pun intended, but seriously.
It is.
So, and then of course your beautiful mom came out of that.
Yep.
That matrimony, and you guys really, really have. So, your mom, you guys have hair like that?
Yep, my mom. Yep, God rest her soul. She passed last year. All her hair was gorgeous.
It was gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous.
I see, and now looking at your skin tone, it's not, I mean, it has a very richness to it, so I see it all.
Yeah,
wow.
It's that 50-50 thing.
No, but I'm telling you that part of you, the Native Americans, is really rich in your skin. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
God, dog men, talking about you. Let me get jealous again. So, did your mom come to Cleveland, or was your grandma?
No, so they all came to Cleveland.
Everybody came to Cleveland.
Yep, they came to Cleveland. Somehow, somebody got them out because they were. That's how close we were to slavery at that time. Is that they were still on the master's property.
Yeah.
So somehow they slipped out of there and came to Cleveland.
Thank God.
Yeah.
What part of Georgia?
Macon.
Oh, that's my people right there. Okay.
Macon.
Yes. I'll be there next week. I'll see y'all soon. My people down there, we got a whole family stuff going on. So, high school, Shaker, graduation, Bam. Did you know? Well, did we have a college in mind? How did college career work?
I went to Southern University.
Okay.
Jaguar.
Yeah.
So I stayed down there for 2 years.
Oh.
I went down there for sports, hurt my knee, and
shoot.
you know,
Did you?
yeah. So I aspired to be an NFL player.
Yeah.
You know, but when I had to make the decision to stay in education, I had one problem with their education. I felt like I was smarter.
So wait a minute. Okay, so you were definitely doing your football thing down there, and you were content doing your football thing because that really was
that was my role.
Right.
Yeah.
But when that kind of got taken back or paused for you, it definitely you probably had to zone in on your education. Did you have a scholarship to it there?
Yeah.
You did have one.
Yes.
You was the man, huh? You was a running back.
Yeah.
So when that pulled back from you, you realize, okay, now I really this is what I'm zoning in on. This is what I have to, work with. I'm sure you excelled in that anyway, but you felt like that it was too slow for you.
It was too slow. When you come from a school like Shaker, you're already at college educated classes. So the things that they were teaching, I felt like I was going backwards. And I just couldn't stand it. And my parents gave me a choice. They said you can either stay down there on your own, or you come back and you go to Cleveland State. I came back home.
It was that you was ready to get out of there.
Yeah, I had to go.
After 2 years of being there.
It was, you know what? And I look, more power to black universities. Some of us are not built for college education.
Yeah.
Some of us are not. I was artistic, so I should have probably went to a school that was more for artistic things.
Okay.
And just we learned so much in Shaker. It was like regurgitated in college. So I'm not gonna pay you for what I was getting for free.
I get that.
I mean, period.
Make it make sense, ain't it? Isn't that what we always say? So, yeah, I mean, now that you say how you put that together, you're there really on your football scholarship. I mean, that's what you zoning for.
And a walk-on scholarship at that.
Now, tell me what does that mean? I might not know.
So I had to make the team.
Oh. So wait a minute, once you made the team, that's when you got a scholarship? How does I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So you walk on. So during the summer, they have tryouts for all the positions of the team. And I was able to try out and get on.
So this wasn't a college that you picked before out of high school?
Oh, yeah. I picked it. I picked it.
So you said you was going there, but you knew you was going to try out for that football team. Wow. That's deep. I didn't even know that was a
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of players are walk-ons. Yeah.
I've never heard it before. I'm really to know. That's why I love the show. That's why I get to talk to people because I like to learn new things. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
So you walked on, huh?
Yeah.
That's some bossy stuff. So back to Cleveland State. Did you finish or did you do it for 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Cleveland State. What was Cleveland State like for you?
Boring.
I could imagine. I'm just saying. I'm like, I didn't. Shout out to Cleveland State. No. But shoot, I mean, you were like in a full-blown adventure at one point. I mean,
It's, you know what? Some people are just not made for that structure. It's a structured system, and everybody's not structured. My sister, I can't do a 9 to 5 and be happy.
Yeah.
You're positioning yourself when you go to college like that for 9 to 5.
Yes, conditioning. You're right.
I'm not positioned for that.
Right.
I'm just not.
I get it.
And if once you learn that, you can take advantage of it.
Okay.
And it took me 25 years later to figure that out.
Amen, honey.
Okay.
Me too. I divorced corporate America in 2017.
Man.
Oof.
Never look back.
Yeah, I won't even get into that. Y'all done heard that story. But so when you were in Cleveland State, did you finish? Did you finish?
I'm still some credit short.
That's all right.
I had to listen. Here's my thing. I just can't stand sitting up listen to people. Well, that's time I could be using.
Yeah.
To do something.
Yeah.
I'm not making no money sitting there.
I feel that.
And I didn't feel it was okay for my parents to continue to pay
Pay
for this
that
education, man. And I'm sitting there.
I mean, and I didn't go to college, but I made a very conscious decision why I didn't go to college. I wasn't a person that was my main thing. I said, I'm not going to have my parents waste money for something I know I'm not going to want to take or be a part of. Because I really didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it. I already had great life skills to get a job and be. I had that. It was no issue. And I was working before I got out of high school making good money, what some adults didn't make. So, but I did hate that I was conditioned to be an employee. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what the world sets you up to be. Especially back in our day. You know what I'm saying? That was really, really pushing on you. Get a good, work hard, get a good job, take care of family. You know, that was like kind of regimen.
Yes.
You know, and I seen my parents do it. So I'm thinking I was, everybody thought we all thought we was doing it. But when you know better, you do better. I always say that. I always go back to that. I coin that. So when you, how long did you say? I mean,
I'm on a couple credits short, but I just had other things on my mind, you know.
So is it like 2 years you did?
Another 2 years.
Another 2 years.
Yep, another 2 years.
What was one thing you could say that you were taking up that you were doing that you felt actually still aided in your talent? Did you push yourself in that position?
Nothing. Business management classes.
Okay.
I mean, and still that's not the real world.
Yeah.
You know, that's textbook.
Yeah, because the math that they give you for business classes is like you're never going to touch that. Man. Anything outside of addition, multiplication, addition, and subtraction, like that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All the extra stuff that they give you is just like a waste of time.
Yeah, you're not going to do algebra, trigonometry.
No, yeah, no way. No way.
So let's be real with this.
Right.
So I don't know. Some people are for it.
Yeah.
You know.
And no, that's what I said. Like, I don't knock it. I don't knock any. Like, it's college round. Do you go there? But always I recommend get into college and be conscious in what you. This is not just don't play high school all over again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's what you're doing. Yeah.
Get in there and be intentional about what you want to be a part of or do. And that's why I'm kind of really happy nowadays. Trade schools are so much more. There's so many more trade schools now because it actually gives people a chance to something they really want to do. They can go in there, get that done, and go into a career instead of having I need these many credits to be this person. You know what I'm saying? So
I just think we still haven't found that correct schooling. These kids are not interested in trade schools. They're not interested in colleges. That's not their interest. It's not their. We have not piqued their interest any longer. And something's got to change.
Yep, you know what I think needs to change because I did like 8 years of college on 2 different levels, and then I did a trade school too because I thought college didn't give me everything, but I was wrong about that. What trade school could stand and do for people better because it is a shorter time span.
Yeah,
it does better cover you financially.
Absolutely.
I think the teachers need to get involved. When you go to places like Ohio Media School, like they throw you in the room, they throw you up in front of these instructors for like 5 minutes and then they're gone. Yeah, like what is that? But I felt like when I was there, I felt like I was the teacher.
Wow.
Yep, it's terrible. I worked 2 stints with kids that came from Ohio Media School, and they learned nothing. They knew nothing.
Right.
When they came to me, they knew nothing.
Yeah.
I worked with them.
Because they're given literary stuff, but like they're not being shown how to use it. How to incorporate it into anything that they want to do. Period. Right. And then what they're really there for. Like for me, I went there to clean up on my newsroom skills, and it didn't give me any of that. I ended up doing a lot more radio, which.
Go ahead, y'all. Don't let me stop y'all.
Which is a blessing.
Yeah. I did 19 years in the newsroom. So, and now I'm here. So,
I think we gotta find what these kids want to do. Because I was one of those kids. I wound up doing 25 years in management. In factories, in good factories at that. Okay, using my engineering skills. But the engineering skills that I had was without a degree. Hello.
Listen, I had to. Right, because it's more of a what's in you, a skill set. Your skill set is really within you. And if you have, again, I always say, if you have good life skills from you could have had it from a good teacher, you could have had it from parents.
Yeah.
And then, honey, this is one thing I'm going to say. A lot of you, I love y'all younger. I actually love the entrepreneurial spirit of this generation now. I can appreciate that because we didn't so much have that pushed on us. But common sense ain't so common. That's
correct.
Common sense will get you a way far.
Yeah.
In the work field, with life field, all that. I think I have a really good collective. I have common sense because I had jobs that I should have never.
Yes.
I should have had those times. I shouldn't be, but it was common sense. And then I'm a touch person. So if you can show me and I can touch it, I'm gonna learn it. Seriously. But don't put me in front of a book to learn how to read it. Don't give me a teacher that's gonna lecture me for hours how to do it. I'm one of those people. It doesn't work for me like that.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work for me like that. So while you were in college, were you working?
No.
You wasn't working. Okay. So what area of work did you go to when you knew that college was gonna cease?
Like every black man, they went to a factory.
Okay.
So it was fast money.
Yeah, it was.
It was fast money. So that's really where I learned management. That's where I got to learn machining. I got to learn, how to read blueprints.
Actually, it's an amazing skill.
That was the life changer, that helped me get to that money, to the bag that they say.
Yeah, for real.
That was when you're a young kid, I'm saying below the age of 30, you're already making $100,000 in the factory. You making money.
You making CEO money. That's.
Okay.
Especially back then.
You making money, and I was at that level. I was already in the engineering rooms.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what factory? What was? Were you one that you felt like really gave you the bag or helped you?
Oh, let me tell you that the one that gave me the bag was the last one I was with. It was JE Pistons. I got to actually do the engineering of pistons for NASCAR.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, y'all perked up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's where I saw the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I got to go to, different places, go to NASCAR, in Nashville, go to Virginia, go to Florida. I got to see things that I'd never seen, in a work capacity. I'm like, wow.
How long were you with them?
Ooh, about 7 years.
7 years? Okay. That's what's up. I didn't ask you this. Let me ask you, did you ever, after going into working and getting into different jobs, did you ever leave Cleveland?
I've been out of Cleveland so much. I'm a time traveler. New York, my mom and dad were not together. So, my dad always stayed somewhere for business. So I got to see many things, especially New York.
Okay.
New York is like second home for me.
Yeah,
that's why if you look at my page, you'll see so many New York celebrities. It's because I was in that era.
Yeah.
I got to see Biggie when he died on that street.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I got to see things that normal people wouldn't have got unless you were there. So I was there. So those kind of things I got to see from my parents, but I also got to see the overseas aspect of life because my dad he wanted to be that dad that showed us it was okay to be a part, see the other side of the world. So we got to see a lot of that stuff. Nice. As kids and young adults.
Wonderful. So in New York, did you live in New York for a period of time?
As an adult, I definitely did.
How long did you live in New York?
Oh, shoot, on and off. So I've been in Cleveland 6 months, New York 6 months.
Okay.
I go back and forth. I did my stint in Louisiana, did my stint in LA. I go back and forth.
Okay.
Till you can't afford it no more, then you got to bounce.
So, what was New York like? I mean, what was Dave Ford doing in New York? Okay. So, because I know you said, like you said, the common one good thing, and it was got him some money, working in factories and whatnot. So, was it that too? You'll go to New York?
In New York, it was the arts. It was the the arts were drawing me. And you know, so I decided, you know, I don't. Well, you might not know my history, but I actually I own one of the biggest studios in Cleveland.
Okay.
And so it was the one in Randall Park Mall. It was the only studio ever in a mall.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a music career as well. So there's a different component of David Ford
I see.
that most people don't know about.
Oh, shoot.
So, you know, I managed
so
artists.
draw me, you said a studio on Randall. Honey.
Yep.
I'm a Randall child, so.
Oh, yeah, you already know. So upstairs, where Gene's, what was that? Country Seat was at. Remember Country Seat by Sears?
Yeah.
So when they moved out, 5 years before they closed, I opened that studio. Before the mall closed. With all the Biggie and Maria, that was my studio.
You see, honey, we got some. I know he's a big deal, but I feel like I got some like legendary.
You getting the juice?
I'm right. This is what I love, cause honey, I done been past there. So many times, so many years. My goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, shout out to Randall Mall.
Nice.
Man, Randall Mall was a whole. How old are you, Matt? Ask you.
36.
You're 36. You wouldn't remember Randall Mall like that. I mean, you probably was in a stroller remembering it.
I was struggling.
Randall Mall want my money back too for my build out.
That's why. Y'all down right now.
Amazon now, they got the best.
Right. They foreclosed on us.
Man, and I'm telling you, you talk about memories, and I had a job. I was there working. That's when I was in high school. I was actually like running a whole jewelry store, and I was not even. I was just coming into my senior year of high school. That's what I'm saying. I had jobs that adults had, opening and closing stores and whatnot. But it was such a move. God, Randall was such a move. So many good memories.
That was great, man.
So many. I mean, you had celebrities coming in.
It was great.
Now I know what.
It was great.
I mean, but they had performances in the middle of the mall. That mall was rocking, and I felt like it was ours. You know what I'm saying? That really was something that we could coin and say, this is a part of our culture, and our culture was thriving then. Yes. We were really doing good.
We were thriving.
And to the knuckleheads come in and start tearing up some stuff, but I think that was intentional too. Though.
It was intentional.
They planted some,
I think so too.
For sure, because how I would say, I mean, like it almost changed overnight, which was weird. That just don't happen. It was craziness. But okay, so you had a studio there. Well, approximately what age were you? Can I ask your age or do you mind?
Yeah, no, I'm 52.
Okay.
Yeah, 52.
So, what in the Randall Mall phase? Where were you going with that? As a matter, let me back up because I think now I'm missing a gap. Now I'm found out of the studio and everything. I want to get walked up to all this because you just slid in. You got some vocals.
No.
Oh, I'm like,
No, I'm the one that put the money behind it.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm about to make you sing something. Okay.
Oh no, wrong guy.
Right. I want to hear what you're talking about. So, okay. So you dabble, not dabble, but you were in the music business
Yeah, I was
too.
in the music business. So we had.
How did you get in that? Like,
you know what? Well, I was a rapper when I was young.
Okay.
So my sister was Angie B back in the day. So if you remember Angie B, that was my sister.
Yeah. I'm fascinated. That's what's up.
Got it.
Hey, welcome to the BBW Show. Who's on the line with us?
Hey, the Solomon and his age.
The who and the who's what?
Solomon.
That's Solomon.
Hi, Solomon. What's up, honey?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. I just wanted to call, say you're doing a wonderful job, and the site group up there, you're doing a wonderful job, and you know I had to call in and get my man Jimmy Ford up there.
Right.
Hey.
I had to borrow your guy for the night.
Yeah, I see. That's good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So since you're on the line, tell us about how you guys linked and your experience with Mr. Ford here.
Well, actually, I met, because, I ran, so I seen him on social media, and I seen people wearing his stuff. I didn't know what we were. was the first one. I'm like, I got to, because I'm serious, what I do, just like everybody. But I'm like, man, I got to get in touch with this guy, Then I was like, you know what? Hey, he needed to tell his story, to be on the platform and stuff. So I'm like, I invited him down to the radio station to be a guest on my show, and boom, it went from there.
That's beautiful.
From there.
So how long you guys been rocking, Jay?
What is this? Almost maybe 3 years, Solomon?
What was that?
3 years?
Y'all been rocking?
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say about 4.
Maybe 4? Yeah, maybe 3, 4. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So tell me like your favorite David Ford moment. Cause honey, I done seen you on all over this page too. I found out I'm in the studio Solomon as a model. They said I gotta meet you. I said, well, where am I at? I'm amongst the greats.
I mean, every moment is classic. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So every time we get together, it's great. And meeting wonderful people. Networking with just it's a beautiful thing. And surrounding yourself with positive people that's doing something.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's met some good people. Being in the studio with me.
That's what's
He's
up.
met some high power.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Hey,
it.
I see y'all was talking about being on what's that media school and everything. Hey, do y'all know David Ford? Remember when the Run Them Wrong? He had that radio. No, he had the recording studio on the Run Them Wrong.
We were just talking about that, and I had no clue that was his. I did not know. Yeah, he was just giving me the juice on that. That's why I say I love to know people's history and where they come from and what they're about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just I always call it her story or his story. You know what I'm saying? It builds who we are, and it gives us that substance to who we are now. You know what I'm saying? I'm 45, and I feel like I'm like this is like the most vibrant part of my life right now. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It blows my mind how I feel now versus how I thought I was feeling 10 years ago. Trying to make it like, oh, I'm still 35 or 30 and trying to live this life. But now I know that all those lessons and trying to be was preparing me to be the best me now.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
If we only knew now.
It sounds so cliche to say that.
But it's true.
But it's true. If I could talk to my 20-year-old self, man. It's so much stuff. Oh, it would be so many jewels, right?
It's not too late. You're still here. God blessing you. And
yes. Yes.
So,
yeah. So I mean, I appreciate you so much, man. Listen, I give much love to you and shout out to you beyond just your platform here, but all that you do and how talented you are and it's still so sweet and humble. You know what I mean? From the day I met you, I heard about you before I met you. So, and I was just pleased that everything I heard was the truth about you. So, and your bout that you went through that you shared with us Sunday, you're an amazing man.
Yes, he is.
You really are.
I appreciate it.
That's my big little bro.
That's my big little bro. I said, right? Because how old are you? You said you're 56.
I'll be 57.
Wait a minute, I'm telling you, I've already seen this man. Y'all gotta see him. It's a real big. He'll be 57. Gosh.
Yeah, September. He'll be 57 this year.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So thank you for letting me borrow your little big bro. Is that how we want to do it?
Yeah, a little big bro.
So thank you for letting me borrow him as a guest for the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anytime.
Oh, now you're selling me out.
David, keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Man, I appreciate everything you're doing. But I get the community, got everybody rocking your stuff, especially all the celebrities and stuff.
So dope.
Man.
So dope.
Much love, bro.
Doing dishes, rocking this stuff. Snoop Dogg, Bill Bell, everybody.
Tell him.
Right.
Got it here in Fat Joe's store downtown New York.
Ah, that's so cool.
Shout out.
That's so what? That's what's up. I love it. Thank you, darling. I appreciate you calling in and kicking it with us for a minute.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later. And the Cyclones, I'll see you later, David. I'll see you later.
All right, bro.
All right, later. See you later.
All right.
All right.
That's what's up. So if anybody didn't hear, that was Solomon. He is one of David Ford models and friends. You'll say they're friends, and they've been rocking for about 4 years. And this is what we like to, because I'm like I said, I'm nosy. I like to hear. You have so much substance. I want to hear. I love storytelling. I like people telling stories. I like that because it gives me such a broader view of really who you are.
I like it.
Not just that you have successful businesses and you have a wonderful clothing line and glass line and eyewear line, but it's like we always say, it's the building blocks to who you are. So Random Mall happened. Music, you got dabbled in the music business. Are you still?
Oh, never.
You said, oh no, huh? No.
Never. Nope. But shout out to MC Brains.
That's my guy.
Okay, that's your guy.
That's my
He
guy.
actually came and we put together one of the best albums of his career.
Seriously.
Yes, we did in that studio.
Oh my gosh, that's something. That's
And we ran around this city and around the country with that album. It was crazy.
Which one was it?
It was Spilling My Guts. You
Oh.
remember that?
Yes. Listen, it's been, how long has it been? He was on the show with me. It's been less than a year, but I love him. That's my guy.
Matter of fact, Brains, you need to stream my album. I've been asking for it. He'll know.
Brains, you hear him? That's my guy, though.
Yeah, he gonna get to it. He over there building that dope studio.
building that studio.
Listen, I was laughing at him the other day. I was watching him on live. Like, he is in the mud. He was coming from head to toe. But see, that's putting his own energy and spirit into
He
that.
got good skills.
That's great.
What he's doing, he's actually building the next Brains if y'all watch.
Absolutely.
Oh, you talking about Bill?
Hell,
Oh, he is.
if y'all are watching, paying attention, he's building something special.
Yeah, and that boy cold.
Yes.
That man cold. He really.
Yes.
And I love their relationship.
Yes.
Cause he came on the show too. When Brains came, and I'm a close watcher of them and admirer.
He's building something really special.
And he's real talented.
Yep, he's building it.
I love it. I can't wait to see. I love seeing his steps to his greatness. I really am. And I love him and Brain's relationship. I love
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's incredible.
I just went to a Brain's show about a month ago out in him and Joe Little did a show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
It was so enjoyable.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He over there. You can't get. We about to see if I can shoot him over there to the Colors Studios. See if he can get in some work over there.
Nice.
So, I'm talking about connections, honey. See, we're not just sitting back here, man. We're actually doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get on to one thing I had to find out about you is that you do photography.
Yep, do that too. Now we're gonna bring up another great person.
Okay, let's do it.
Let me tell you how I got my start in photography. It was from me having to pay everybody for my fashion brand. So I was going down to Atlanta paying $2,000 a shoot. From the words of Stephen Mitchell, and this will be the only time I will ever cuss.
Go ahead.
If you tired of paying for shit, learn how to do the shit.
Yeah.
End of the conversation.
Yeah.
And I bought a
So
camera the next day, and that's been it.
wow.
And over the years, I've been photography for 9 to 10 years now, and just got really good at it. And I just started shooting my own brand, and it works perfect.
So, believe it or not, and I hear this from like a lot of my friends and family. They say that I should go into photography because I'm serious about my picture shot. And anybody knows watching, they know me. They know. But my one friend, she's really trying to push it. You should go into photography. It is enjoyable for me. A lot of people think when they see me like from afar that I just like taking pictures. I actually don't like taking pictures of myself. Or having pictures. I actually enjoy the joy that my friends get, and taking pictures of everybody else. I'm usually that person, designated person to take pictures. So I might dig with that. I told him I might mess with it.
I'm giving you the Stephen Midget phrase. So, I'll be frankly honest, and that stuck with me. And, I thank him because not only has it created an extra income
right.
for me, but it actually got me in tons of magazines with my brand.
And that the marriage, right? That made sense. So let's back up. I want to get to your clothing, like that part of you, because that seemed like the photography with the great advice you had came after that. So when did David get into actual clothing and fashion? And how did that happen for you?
Fashion, clothing
music
was
happened
one.
first?
Yeah, music was first.
Okay.
So which one you want? Because it's all different segments. I'm really stickler on it. So with the clothing aspect, really came about, I'm gonna say 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, so that's
eyewear's first.
Okay, so let's pause on that because that's that recent. I want to go where you do into like where you were going to a brand of having some type. And I feel like eyewear is fashion, so I'll that portion of fashion about you. So your eyewear line was first.
It was first, and I'll tell you the story. I have to tell it to everybody else. So the way my line got started is I was that kid that wore the ugly glasses.
Really?
I wore the ugly glasses, and I also was a kid that liked to draw, as I told you. So, it just mounted up through my career. My mother was moving, and she said, "What are you going to do with all these drawings?" My mother kept all my notebooks of all my drawings. And what they were superheroes, Sunday superheroes, with glasses on.
Get out. So so you identify with your inner you, and if I'm reaching, so let me know.
Yeah, you tell the truth.
Oh, so you really identify with your inner you. You knew you was a superhero, but you definitely had your
Yes,
song.
yes.
That is so dope.
We know that the kid got remember because, as they say now, bullied and all that for kids.
Yeah.
That was my escape. Was to draw superheroes with glasses on.
I love that.
That was my escape. And my mother kept all those books, and one day I said, you know what? She said, well, throw them away, what you gonna do? I said, you know what? I'm gonna put them on LinkedIn. Just being funny.
Yeah.
See what people gonna say. Put them on LinkedIn. Somebody said, hey, send me a message. I would like to see those up close.
Really?
I'm like, I don't know about this one. Okay? I didn't know. So I'm like, okay. He said, let me fly you down to Miami.
How old were you then?
So 11 years ago.
That was 11 years ago.
11 years ago.
Okay.
So was I 41, 42? And he said, I'd like to see those drawings for myself. And, see what you're doing. So went down there. It was the lead designer from Gucci.
Mic drop, y'all.
Yep. Lead designer from Gucci. And he said, you know what? I'm not going to take you to Gucci. I'm going to teach you how to do it yourself.
Ugh.
And that's what he taught me how to do. From there, I did my stint over in Japan and China.
Wow.
So you have to do a stint to learn.
Right.
See, that's why all these people say how they have their fashion brands of eyewear. They have no formal training.
Wow.
I'm formally trained, and what helped me was engineering.
That makes sense.
Okay.
When?
24. I'm just telling you the time.
What is
the time? 8:24.
Okay. Oh, I see this dimension. Thanks, bro.
So, I had formal training, and with that formal training, I was able to build my brand.
Wow.
And the designs that you see are from kids. Yeah.
My God.
That's why everybody says my frames remind them has that 70s, 80s
Oh, yes, they have
influence.
oh my goodness.
That's where it comes from.
Like those,
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
I love that.
So, and it works for me. So it works for my brand. People love it. People rock with it. And we're all over the country with it.
That's crazy. That's an amazing story of not just success, but inspiration too. You know what I mean? To take something that you were doing as a child of passion, and hear mama who said she moved, come get this mess or it's going to be
That's exactly
trash.
what she said. What you gonna do with it?
And here you just like that. And just playing with a thought, really put it on LinkedIn. But see, and this is how you know real successful, I'm not gonna say, I'm just on capsule successful, but people that know that real talent is out here. This man with Gucci is on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Looking.
Scouring for talent.
Scouting. Right. And
Yep.
that's how you know somebody about it. They know what they're doing. And just so have look at the gym they dropped not only in this man lap, but really this was your propel, your moment to be, hey, I got a real brand, it's about to go down, and it's gonna be super successful, and you're gonna get all this good training and everything behind that. That's a dope story. I get excited about stuff like that. I do, because I think that it should just happen that organically. Like you said, it don't have to be about a college that I'm sitting behind.
No, that was my point.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. I love that.
You know, and I mean, I thank him because, you know, when I walked back into my job, my last day, at 12 o'clock noon, they said, I quit.
Oh, wait. Didn't that feel like he was free?
I meant it.
He was free.
And they're like, you'll be back. No, I won't. And I've never been back.
That's amazing. What a wonderful story. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, you always had your own boss skills and boss mindset and different moves you were making, but something like that, because that takes, I had to be brave and quit. That's what I did. I quit.
Yeah.
And that's security. Once that security's like the lead, you're really on your own. You better be quilting your own damn blanket. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
But that's so dope. So your glassware started popping. What was like what was the next step after you got your formal training? All right, I'm on the way up, got this glasses. What was your next major move for your eyewear? Did it go to a specific outlet or did you know?
I hit the streets.
Did you? Okay.
I hit the streets, but see, I had that piece already in place from the studio. So I already knew celebrities.
Right, you were known already.
So yeah, so I used my celebrity piece.
Beautiful.
And that's how I started with all these celebrities.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So now what stores or where's your eyewear? How I know we can find online, of course.
They're online, they're in optical stores across the country, so there's so many to name. Black and White, which is big in like DC. Eye Candy Creations, which is in Beverly Hills.
I heard of Eye Candy.
Okay. In Atlanta, Finkenstyle's boutique.
Finkenstyle.
Yes.
Stop
Now
right
she's
there
the
right
one
now.
that does all of your Real Housewives and all that. Shout out to them because I know all of
And
them.
hairstylists, because I got a pair of hairstylists, got a couple of pair of glasses.
Yes.
Too.
So let me tell you, fire.
That's what's up.
So New York, up NYC. So shout out to Fat Joe and his team. That's a great story there.
Yeah, I hear that.
I know I keep it short so we don't run out of time.
No, we good.
So it was kind of a blessing and a curse because I sent some things out to Fat Joe, and Fat Joe was like, "My head too fat." So they sat in their storeroom, and his brother or cousin, whatever it may be, was like, "What are we gonna do with it?" The salesperson actually stuck him out on the floor.
That's.
Now I got so many people in New York. People was walking in like, "Your glasses is in NYC's front case." I'm like, huh? They're like, "Yeah, they're in front case." So I wound up calling his cousin. His cousin was like, "Well, if they there, shoot, roll out.
Right.
We about to roll it out," and we rolled it out.
That's what's up.
It was a blessing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I love stuff. These type stories. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you definitely can find the glasses online. So when did you know you wanted to bring some clothing fashion into your brand?
I'm gonna say about 6 years ago. But we had to. I got bored.
Did you?
I got bored because when you do it every day, you get bored. I got bored and I wanted to do something else. I wanted to see something come to life. So I started working on the clothing.
Okay.
And that was that was the biggest feat ever. That was way harder than eyewear.
Really?
Yes. Because
so what? By the way, I love your logo.
Thank you.
That's like one of the Flyers logos. But what was one hard about clothing, and secondly, where did you first target when you were going into clothing fashion?
I targeted here first because I thought, okay, it'd be easy to do it at home.
Yeah.
Not so much. Well, the first thing is that I had to learn that there's a tech tag. You got to learn what the pieces of fashion are. everybody thinks you go buy some hoodies, put your name on them, you got a
Yeah.
brand. It's not a brand. You know, in order to build this stuff, you got to know what you're doing. I got blessed. And I'm going to say his name. And maybe one day they'll be friends again. Franklin Myrtle did the biggest thing he could do for me. He introduced my brand to Donna Karen.
What? Come on
Yes.
now. Wait a minute.
Yes. Yes. I'll show you pictures when we're done. And Donna Karen actually fell in love with it, and she sent me to her manufacturers.
Wow. Get out of here.
And so, you know, I'm doing stuff overseas out of those factories.
You know what? Don't get me wrong, but because I think everyone has really great powers and energy, and we're very blessed, especially as a culture. But he is like the wood at the Apollo. You know, I'm gonna rub his shoulder before we leave. I need some of that good old energy, some of that good old blessing to rub on me. That's amazing, though. I love to hear these types of stories. What a blessing.
It's a big blessing. I mean, I don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
I don't misuse it.
Right.
You know, because everything I've had is, you know, somebody from a major brand has really put me in position, like saying, you the next black man to make something happen.
Nice.
Now make it happen, you know? So I don't take it lightly.
That's what's up. I love it. So, your clothing brand, your clothes, your fashion, is it, what as a, you know, your go-to as far as clothing pieces that really is like, there's David Ford's line.
And, you know what? First of all, the motorcycle jackets, if you haven't seen those, they are fire. Our use of colors from eyewear to apparel is second to none.
Yeah.
We use a lot of colors that you'll be like, wow. And now my new line, which will be 22nd, people will get to see. So I'm coming out with these duster jackets for ladies. Oh, it's going to be phenomenal.
That's such a, and dusters for women is so popular right now. Oh my gosh. So cold. So nice. So do us BBWs get a chance to have a place in your, I mean, do you go, what sizes do you go up to?
Well, look, that's the whole thing. We do so much custom work, we can do any size.
Nice.
So, you know, it's what the demand says.
Okay.
You know, my BBW sisters, they support more on eyewear than they do the apparel. I don't know why. Okay, but I mean, we open to it.
Okay.
We open to it.
Now, I mean, if you got, this is the thing about BBW apparel. I know you're a man in your craft, but I am a BBW in my craft. If you have options for women love, especially now since the BBW culture is so much more popular now, I could say. I mean, that could be like.
See, what we have to get back to is black people get back to customizing our clothes.
Ooh,
And this is, see, I'm like, you know, a lot of people say I'm like the Dapper Dan of the Midwest.
okay.
Because I do a lot of customizing. So if you say you want something custom, like I got people, it's some event for the NBA coming during the playoffs. So I've been doing all this like custom work. You know?
So something like what? Like someone's.
So now I'm doing velour joggers.
Oh.
So, you know, people want that nice velour jogger, so I've been doing velour joggers. People always buy those motorcycle jackets.
Yes.
I can't keep the motorcycle jackets in.
Yes. Are you really key in like every design that come out, or do you have everything is you?
Everything is me, top to bottom.
That's crazy, yo.
Everything is me.
That's crazy.
Yep.
You definitely have to have a stretched mindset and brain and imagination.
It's a 24/7.
I see, especially if you're saying everything from top to
Everything from top to
style,
bottom.
aesthetic, everything.
Everything is me.
That's what's up. That's powerful though. That's because a lot of people want, especially when they make it to your status, they doesn't have a team of designers and
you know what? I have to touch everything. I mean, it's just something I've said from. That's just my business ethic. Everything has to be touched. Even my packages that go out to my client, every single package I touch.
that's what's up. I love that.
It's important.
I love that.
It's important.
I mean, and then your brand actually it shines that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it does.
It doesn't feel filtered out like a lot of. And shout out to the people that are successful with with their, how they rock their business, but you can tell, especially even like in your posts, if anybody follows your social media, they'll see the personal touches and the love you get also from my homegirl model for you. Her name's Sanchina. That's my girl.
That's my girl.
That's my her youngest daughter is my goddaughter. So
Okay.
her and I are like sisters. And I'm like, she sent me a picture. I said, girl, what? And it was fire. It was fire. It was beautiful. And
we built my mother's campaign.
That brand and line. I think I was on the town when she said, she's like, I'm modeling now. She's, you know how she is. She is extra. That's my baby. Shout out to Sheena. Yeah, I mean, then I do a little work every month with Kenya Brown. She looks amazing.
Amazing.
Line. Yes. But all your everything I've seen is, and as a matter of fact, now I did a little. I told you I wear his DM right, but I didn't actually I didn't ask about the show. I knew I was going to ask though, but I was just kind of warming up, trying to. And I'm like a little corny and silly, but I was like, are you going to throw some BBW? But this is my brand. This is my life. This is who I am. So he's like, trust me, for all the years I've been working, we done had a little bit of everything.
Yes, we have. We've had everything,
And I believe I was really, and I was just throwing it out there in there. And I wanted to ask him to be on the show. So that was like kind of my, hi.
No, that was perfect. It was perfect. But we have, it's not about, anybody can wear anything. It's just how it's worn.
Got that right.
So it's just how
I'm a big stickler on that, honey. I really am. I actually am in the works of developing my nonprofit and self-love group. I'm really big on, body imaging, where not to shape, but accept who you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when you know who you are, learn how to dress that person.
Absolutely.
Everything don't belong with everybody. Every style don't belong to you. So you really got to know how and who you are. But you first got to be confident in who you are. So
yes, you do. I'm
going to work from girls from 8 to 18. That's my goal.
Nice.
That's my goal. So tell me about I'm sorry, I know I've been so involved in your mentor, honey. He has a story. I'm sure you understand. You shy? Oh, no, I'm gonna get that right about you. You ain't worried about that.
We breaking the apple tonight, right here.
Right. Beautiful. Oh, good. We about to peel you back too. So how did this happen? This is your mentee. Tell me about this part of you. Do you have? Because I heard you give as a community too, and I do want to touch on that. So tell me about your philanthropy part of you, your giving back, your community service of yourself.
You know what? First, anybody who wants to learn anything about my skills, I'll offer it. There's plenty of brands out here that can tell you that. My second piece, we do what's called Readers for Seniors. So it's called a Believe program. So every year, and we didn't get to do it during COVID, but every year we go during the holidays of Thanksgiving, and we give out readers to seniors at the facilities. And so we started that where my mother was.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
No, you don't even know how at first when you said it went over my head, but then when you just hear what you said, now I get it. I love that.
And so, we reached out to the city of Cleveland. And they would not even help put 50% in. So you know what? I put up 100%.
I know that's right.
And did it my damn
I
self.
know that's right.
And we didn't ask somebody for nothing. And we continuously do it for the past 5 years.
Nice. That's amazing. So you say it is a time of year that you really Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
When they need it the most,
Right.
My mother was in facilities for almost her whole 5 years before she passed.
Okay.
And I would see so many sad people. It was sad.
Started with that. My mom in rehab right now.
And so, that was my thing. Something at least one time a year, cheer them up, give them something.
Give them something, like, to feel like that. Yeah, you have always been a human, you're still a human, and you still should be cared for. I totally agree.
I'll tell you a story before we talk to him. So, I was in one facility, he was on Fairhill facility.
I know where that's at, yeah.
And so, I gave this man a pair of readers, we sized him up, got him together for his readers, and he was like, give me a newspaper. This man hadn't read his bills in years.
Are you serious?
Until he was able to
That's
get
so
his
unfair.
glasses.
Wow.
And nobody ever took him to get his eyes checked.
How could that possibly be?
It's a system. If you know anything about facilities, it's bad.
Oh, honey, I just cussed one out earlier this week.
Yep,
You ain't about to mess with my mama.
You know, so it just, you know,
Wow, what?
and there's a picture actually with me and him on my Facebook. You know, and you know, it just that's the kind of things that makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's where the service
Yeah, I don't
gives back to you.
Yeah,
It gives
you owe me nothing for that.
I know that's right.
You know,
that feels probably a whole part of you that you know.
forever. This for my, and the best part about it, my parents were a part of that whole believer program the entire way. You know, and so you know to have them both together and we did that program, it was great.
That's wonderful.
It was great.
What a wonderful story. I love that.
It was great. And then, you know, for my sister, when she passed, you know, she really wanted me to go into this fashion thing. It was big on her heart. And so, last year, 2 years ago, we went to the billboard, Times Square. That was last year. So I put up a billboard on Times Square for my sister.
That's dope.
It was dope.
That is so.
It was dope.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
It was dope.
You have so many endearing moments, not just successful moments. Because I mean, I know a lot of work goes behind what you do. Sweat, blood, work, tears. I get it, but to have the success on the other side of that, and the way it's really endearing, it's purposeful, and it's it's actually seeing your models. Like you know they're like Shantita. I'm telling you, she was that goofy and singing the pictures. She was beautiful. I mean, she killed it, and she knows she knows when she killing something. She said, I won't say exactly what she said, but just the happiness that gave her. You know, that's what I'm
That's
getting
what it's about.
And I think that's just precious. I love that. I love that. Gosh, I'm so happy.
That's about the duck lips.
Oh God.
Oh, you already know.
Trust me. I know. I gotta break her. And you just shot my boy, Daryl Moore.
Yep.
Yes.
And Daryl is great.
He looks terrific. Oh my God, I'm so glad you did.
Yeah.
He shout out to Daryl. His shoot was amazing. He looked
was
so
amazing,
good.
Yes, he did.
I need some professional shots. I'll be hitting you up.
Hey man.
No, seriously, I do. I have so many people send me a picture, and I have no problem. As much as
You need that work,
I
man.
know.
Well, you know, I'm talking. I ain't got my own right now. I don't. You know, you know what? I'm a behind the scenes guy. I love it that way.
Usually, I feel like I am
You
too.
know, I like to be behind the scenes. I like even for the fashion show we're about to do. They're like, you didn't come to any of the fittings or anything. You don't need to see who I am. Just be there to be dressed when I walk you down that runway.
Oh, it's okay to tell me about the fashion show. I didn't know we got
So we had the fashion show at the Ivy. It's for cancer research. And you know, it's by Big F and let me
That's
see.
a big head.
Yep. And what's her name? I hate to not know her name, but
Oh,
The one that's coming up when?
the 22nd.
22nd. Of this month?
Yeah, this month at the Ivy. Mia.
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be on the 22nd, and I'm closing that show.
Oh,
So people only get to see me do this once a year.
damn it, I'm be in Atlanta.
Yep.
I am. I'm be in Georgia next weekend. It's so much going on next weekend too. God dog it. I can't wait to see the reviews and the footage and whatnot.
Yep. We got some stuff gonna blow you away.
I love it. I love it. Shoot. Okay.
Hey, talk to that guy.
Yes.
He needs to be talked about because he has a story to tell.
I want to hear how you got here on this with your mentor and what's you guys' history and story. What's going on with your king?
Me and David, we connected. I don't know, it's been about what, a long time. Like it was a real genuine connection. Actually, I think I was following him on Instagram.
Okay.
I put up to one of his pop-up shops. Like you said, I realized he was like from Cleveland. And it's like this guy's like dope, he's black, designer. Got to connect with him. I think that was like in like 2015.
Also,
So I've just been rocking, I've been supporting her brand, which has been rocking since then. I let him know what I was doing, and being a designer and kind of going through the ranks and trying to find my is nice, but this ain't it. Let me put you in a position. And so
That's what's up.
he helped me elevate it, show me how, like you said, the tech designs go, how the engineering of it goes, and we just kind of build a brand around that. Yeah.
So
But the ears of his face.
Yeah, these are mine. These are exclusive.
I was wondering because I don't know what that bar is across the top, but I've been digging.
Yeah, so this is like a handmade acetate.
I love that. I was digging it the whole time. I love that.
Yes, Greek Couture Eyewear is.
What is it called? Say it again.
Greek Couture Eyewear.
Greek Couture.
Yeah, so it's a limited collection that we got from the Lewis House of Luxury, which is the actual brand.
Okay.
For me. And Davis has been like very instrumental in just pushing me through this process. I've given up a lot, especially a younger black designer going into luxury.
Absolutely.
Not a lot of people understand what I'm trying to do. To see him doing it at a high level.
Yeah.
And come and say, hey, I want to bring you with me. That says a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have a better mentor. That's just after hearing his story. It made my
I always tell him, like, you're like the Lagerfeld of the Black Lagerfeld or Ralph Lauren. Like, I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's done.
Absolutely. I mean, now, like, really hearing his story, I feel cheated. Because I think I know enough people to say, I think I do. Maybe I don't. But it's just a pleasure to hear this and to, the passion and knowing that he really is have a helping, serving heart. That's even greater. So I think that's so dope. So dope. I'm so blessed to be in these positions. I'm telling you, I'm glad that I got into Static Radio. I'm happy that I was able to now be able to network. And networking is so important. So important. And I believe in networking. I'm such a big pusher of that. So
your network is your network.
You darn straight. So you better realize who you're hanging around and who you actually tied to, because it will tell a story on your own personal funding and your own spirit. It will tell a tale on you. So where are you going now with your line? What's up with you? How do we find you, and what do we need to look out for?
You can find me on all social media platforms at Greek Couture Eyewear or at King A. Lewis.
King A. Lewis.
Right now, we're getting ready to roll out an optical line probably towards the end of the summer.
Okay.
We got some new campaigns out. I'm actually going to Greece next month to shoot.
Oh, come on. What's up?
Because of Greek Couture,
Absolutely. It makes good sense.
Makes good sense, right?
Makes great sense.
So we got that new campaign coming, and then we got some apparel rolling out too.
Nice. I'm definitely going to follow you and watch out for you. I would love to have you back on the show once your campaign is up and going for that particular entity. So that's good. That's how I love that. I'm gonna break you that shyness too. And listen, I'm actually
break them in.
Right, we'll break them in. I'm gonna break them down. But and even one day, and I know I would love to look forward to. And Decisive will tell you, I'm a remote host. I'm usually not. Very rare I'm in a studio, believe it or not. I'm always somewhere, but I would love to be live, seeing you in your element. You know what I'm saying? Working with your clients or something. I would love if ever.
Glad you want to get 22nd, because that would have been the spot. You would have saw me in my full element.
Listen, don't make me fly.
Yelling and everything
That's
else.
what I'm saying. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Oh Lord, I'm probably gonna plan my flight to come back.
The stuff he has it's just mind blowing. Some of the designs I'm like,
oh, I'm so mad I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Ah, I know it is, but I believe in moments, and I think it's gonna happen again. I'm gonna get a chance to get back into his realm.
I'll tell you because I usually do Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta.
Oh really?
So yeah, I'll see if I'm gonna do Mercedes again. And I'll tell you.
Oh, I'll be down here on the spot for that.
In New York, we're working on something right now with Bentley.
Ah.
So to do a showroom fashion show.
I would love it. Listen, if at all, drop that down to me. I am on the way. I am, for sure. This has been amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. I love to hear, like I said, I'm very big on hearing people's history and their story because I'm blessed to have anyone that sit here with me. I want to know about you. It's not about, what perception. I want to know what's going on with you and what built you to be who the man, the boss, entrepreneur, the mentor you are now. You know what I'm saying? The service, the son. You talk so highly of your parents, which is a beautiful thing. And you ask yourself, you're married?
Yep.
Husband, the husband he is. He always give you all your flowers.
Yep.
You have children?
Yeah, one son.
One son, okay.
Yep. Thank God he about to go to college.
Oh. So is that something he really wants to do?
I think so, because he wants to be an astronaut, so we'll see.
Oh my, yeah, so yeah.
Oh, he way smarter than me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
He way smarter than me.
Shout out to that, our future astronaut. We sure enough need some of our beautiful
We sure do.
being in that part of life, for real. Oh, that's nasty. This is beautiful. Look at the color.
It's gorgeous.
And I'm not even a red person, but this, oh my God.
It's gorgeous. So that's going to be at that fashion show.
That's
so
nasty.
All I'm trying to do is bring Cleveland doesn't understand it's so much of a bigger world. And
I say this all the time.
Cleveland has to understand that going to Mexico or going to Miami don't make you a celebrity. Okay, we need to stop that.
Yeah.
First of all, we need to cultivate what we have here.
First and foremost. And unfortunately, with us being here, we don't even know how to do that.
Correct. So, all those Instagram followers, I just did a whole video, if you watch it on my page today, talking about it. We don't even understand who we are, as people. We so confused. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying black people, I'm saying Cleveland in general.
Yeah.
We're so confused. That's why, like New York, Cleveland, they're like, Cleveland.
Right.
You can never come out of Cleveland. And that's what helps me succeed.
Right.
They're like, you ain't from Cleveland. You can't be. We got to do better.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And not to say this in a vain way, but I have a lot of people they don't even believe that. I'll say myself. They don't believe I'm from Cleveland.
Yeah.
A lot of times people think I'm either from Texas, Houston, or New York. I believe got the New York thing. I was totally confused by that, but okay. But I understand the Texas and the down south thing. But then to find out that really it's more depth than just the surface of what you see in me. I really, I'm blessed to have come from a rich culture. Like even down south to my mom, she's traveled the whole world. She lived all over the world. That's where my knowing how to deal with other cultures came in, and knowing how to carry myself and the confidence that I've always had as a child to now. These things are very important in our. We're supposed to have the substance. That's why I said I love to hear the fact that you came from St. Clair to Shaker because that was very influential in your life. And it was a blessing that you got a chance to have that, especially in that time. Because honey, going to Shaker now is like, let me revamp that. Let me stop.
Right.
Let me back up. It's what you make it for anything. But unfortunately, it's not like how
it wasn't.
When we were growing up,
Steam.
Right, you find out somebody going to Shaker, it's like, oh, they booed, they wasn't good. But that's how it was though, because my uncle, my mom's brother, he raised his children and family in Shaker. You know what I'm saying? We grew up in Garfield Heights. It's just things like this make a difference, and we have to be realistic with each other. But like you said, it doesn't have to be so much make a difference if we learn how to cultivate our own culture, if we learn how to nurture what we have, our surroundings, how we learn how we can love on each other. So I totally agree with you on that. I totally agree.
And I'll leave you with this. For other thing I leave for my people is this. We have to get to the point where we understand that have value for yourself. And your price is your price.
Thank you.
And it's not to be deflated. It's not to be ran around.
Absolutely.
It's not to be, anything else but what you make it.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem we have here. And in the black community. Give the same respect to these designers out here that you would give to anybody in a store. Because I promise you, David Ford commands his respect, and that's why people know me. You know, now I might cut you a little something, you know, if you're a repeat client, you know.
Yeah.
But you know what? Don't walk up to me and do that.
Yeah.
Because you know what the outcome gonna be. It's not gonna be good.
Right.
You know,
To
I work
expect
for
something.
myself to get here.
Right. To expect such a thing.
Yes.
Absolutely. Your worth is not to be compromised.
No, it's nobody's.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love
always
that.
say that impact creates influence, and influence creates value.
Yes.
I love that.
David is the epitome of value. What he
Yes.
brings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It really makes you zone in more, honestly, knowing your story. But I still have a good instinct. I mean, the intuition kind of just comes out. But I'm blessed. It's not anything of me. It's because I think highly of someone that I would love to get to know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for this moment. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here on a Friday night.
Thank you too.
Thank God it was a warm Friday night.
Yeah, it's a great night.
It was a beautiful night, right?
It's a great night.
Going to the playoffs.
Hey, that's even more to celebrate, honey. I love it. They're my Cavaliers, honey. So tell us before we go, Dave, how can anyone find you? Your tags? I know that's really not an issue. They Google David Ford, everything gonna come up. So just Google David Ford, but I'll let you still shout out your tags and anything you want the people to know.
You know what? Before I even do that, let me give a shout out to this lady behind the wheels of steel.
Hello.
Over there, because you know what? You know, and I'm not gonna say inadvertently, but inadvertently, she's always been behind what I do. You know, and it's important that she gets her flowers
Absolutely.
as is necessary, because she probably don't get them enough.
Absolutely.
You know, but my social media, you can find me. First of all, the website is DFEyewear.com or DFCbrand.com. You can go either way. You can go shopping. On the Instagram, DFC the brand. And if you just want to catch me on Facebook, DF Ford. You can find me.
That's what's up.
You
You can't miss them, honey. Like I said, anything, what they say, if anything fails, Google, honey.
Just
Google them. It's going to come up. I'm sure.
It'll come up.
Can you tell us one more time how to find you, sweetheart? Your tags, how you want us to follow you, or websites, or anything of that nature?
Find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at King A. Lewis, and the brand at Greek Couture Eyewear, and on platforms, Greek Couture Eyewear.
That's what's up.
Also, we're in the magazine, LDL Magazine.
It's LDL?
LDL Magazine. The brand and myself and my wife, it's based out of LA.
Okay.
Online, you can get it on all newsstands as well.
Nice. Okay. That's what's up. Shout out. So listen, y'all, I knew it was going to be an amazing show. Again, I'm very grateful to be able to learn more about you, what you got going on, and just the culture of you. It's crazy. It's beautiful.
I appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, sir. Anytime. Thank you guys for coming. Welcome to the BBW Show, y'all. Listen, I told y'all, my goal is to always do it bigger, better, badder, a little more beautiful. Y'all, I always want to elevate. I always want to be manifest. And I always believe that I'm thankful to have guests along with me to help me stay in this manifestation, if that makes sense. So I thank you guys. I can't wait to see you guys. Oh, listen, so next week, like I told you, my family don't know yet, but I'll be down south. I'll be in Georgia. Normally when I'm in Georgia, I'm in Atlanta. I'm usually in Atlanta surrounding areas, but I'm going to be pulled away from normal social life that I go down there and be a part of, because it's to my family. We have a cemetery that we own, Leicester Cemetery. We have something called decoration that we do once a year, always the third or fourth weekend. No, it's the fourth, because we have 5 weekends in this month. But it's always the fourth weekend of every April where we go down there, we clean up all the graves. Leicesters come from everywhere. And, you know, we pay homage to our ancestors. We have land down there. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'll be going live from that. You guys will get to be able to share and see me with my family. But that Friday, because we'll do that Saturday, but that Friday evening, my family don't even know we're about to have a round table. And it's going to be a family show. They don't know yet. They're going to be we're going to have a great time. I have a great family. My dad has a great lineage down there, and I'm so proud to be a Lester, y'all. So y'all get to see the Stacey Lester family portion of me. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys next week. Be safe. I love you guys. hug on somebody, and be positive. Give good vibes, good energy. Decisive, thank you always. Listen, we just had a dope award show, y'all, and I feel so honored. I love the fact that I love to give flowers, but to get them back is like it's priceless. So thank you so much for that.
So welcome.
This
So
past
deserving.
weekend, we really had a great time, a great show, and we got loved on by our boss lady. So I love it. Welcome to the BBW Show, y'all. See y'all later.
Give me my traveling music.
Ooh. Hey, you heard it.
Told you I'm gonna ask for every whack on that. You gotta pay my traveling.
When you come off your show again, you just don't play that.
Pay my traveling.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Gotta get a couple pictures.
Yep.
I should stop it, huh? I had
Bro, you had Futureland?
Yeah, I was at Futureland.
oh, you
Yeah, yep. I was at the end of the hall doing all the interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. I'll put it.
Yeah, we'll take care of it. check us out on social media, where we absolutely love to hear from you on Facebook.com/No Static Radio LLC, on Twitter at No Static_Radio, on Instagram at _No Static Radio, and on YouTube at, you guessed it, No Static Radio. Also, if you guys would like to listen to replays of this show and others on NoStaticRadio.net, please make sure you check us out on Mixler or Mixcloud.com. Just type in No Static Radio in the toolbar for replays of this show and all others on the platform. And for continuous streaming, make sure you check us out on TuneIn.com, LiveOnLiveRadio.net, or MediaQ for continuous streaming of this show and all others uninterrupted. You guys, like, you don't have to refresh, maybe a little bit of buffering, and boom, you got us. Yeah, again on TuneIn.com, LiveOnLiveRadio.net, or MediaQ. Just type in No Static Radio, all one word, in the toolbar. And for all things No Static Radio, including up-and-coming events, merchandise, and the end of look at all our great show hosts here, please check out our website at www.nostaticradio.net. Thank you for tuning in on this fantastic Friday. And you guys know what it is. We've got more music for your listening pleasure here on your voice of the revolution, NoStaticRadio.net. Powered by Google, partnered with Colors, sponsored by Lamont Avenue Wines and Hot Girls here. You guys be safe, have a great weekend, and I'll be with y'all this Saturday, so check you out Saturday. Peace.
I also got to come do my rings. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He left, and that's what I forgot to remind him about.